Okay, this is your lecture related to obsessive-related disorders. Really what I want to focus on with this lecture is this idea of how does obsessions and compulsions relate to each other. Because OCD, obsessive-compulsive disorder, is really the major disorder within this category, although you can see I have listed here a few other different disorders that are part of this. Alright, so let's start with obsessions. Obsessions are thoughts. They are not actions, they are thoughts. But they are a particular type of thoughts. They are unwanted and they are intrusive. So these are not pleasant thoughts that the person is having, and these are not thoughts that can be controlled. They are intrusive. They come into the person's mind when they don't want them. And oftentimes when they try to get rid of them, it only makes it worse. We know this in our regular life. If I tell you, don't think about a bear, don't think about a bear, don't think about a bear, all you're doing is thinking about a bear. So the more you try to push away these thoughts, the more intrusive they are. So we start with these obsessions. Common obsessions for somebody with OCD are things related to germs. So, oh, my hands are getting dirty, or am I dirty, that kind of thing. Or it could be related to hurting somebody or somebody being hurt. So oftentimes they think about stabbing somebody they love. And this isn't a psychopathic thing, it's not like they want to stab them, but they're just afraid that they're going to stab them. So these are all thoughts. And obviously, because they're unwanted and intrusive, these thoughts lead to an increase of anxiety. So they're anxious, they're anxious, they're anxious, and they just need to get rid of these thoughts and they don't know what to do. Eventually, it leads them to some sort of behavior. Compulsions are behaviors or acts. Sometimes they're related to the obsessions. So if your obsession is germs, maybe your compulsion is about washing your hands. But oftentimes they're not related to the obsession. So if you're afraid you're going to stab your mother, you start counting tiles on the ceiling. And that is not related to stabbing in any way, but whatever it is, it reduces their anxiety. It kind of makes those thoughts go away for a while. And so this part right here in the cycle, this is really key. The fact that whatever the behavior is, whatever the compulsion is, it reduces the anxiety and it makes the anxiety go away. What we call that is negative reinforcement. Hopefully in Gen Psych you've heard this term before, but you have something negative that's going on. This increased anxiety is the negative thing. Anxiety, anxiety, anxiety. And then you do something, your compulsion, to decrease or to take away that negative thing. That's why it's called negative reinforcement. And so this cycle right here reinforces these compulsions. So they're worried about germs, they wash their hands, and it makes them feel better. The next time they wash their hands 3 times, and so it has become this ritual now. They have to wash their hands 3 times for that anxiety to go away. If it keeps going, sometimes it just becomes worse and the compulsions become bigger and bigger and bigger in order to get rid of that anxiety. But this right here is the key. This is the key to OCD. Now, how do these other disorders relate? Well, body dysmorphic disorder are obsessions and compulsions related to a particular part of the body. So maybe the individual's freaked out about their nose, and so they think about their nose all the time, and they are constantly checking their nose and trying to turn their head so people don't see their nose. Whatever the compulsion and the obsession is, it's related to a body part. With hoarding disorder, the individuals are trying to take away the anxiety or keep the anxiety low by keeping things, collecting things, saving things. For somebody with hoarding disorder, they have incredible distress if they think about throwing something away. And so it's really not about decreasing the anxiety, but it's actually about preventing the anxiety from coming, because if they get rid of something, if they throw something away, then the anxiety comes. Key also for hoarding is that it has to impair some sort of living area. So somebody with a bunch of stuff is not necessarily a hoarder, but if you can't live in your house, if you can't use rooms in a functional way because you have so much stuff. So you can't sleep in the bedroom because your bed is covered in stuff and there's no room for you to sleep, so you sleep on the couch. Now we're bridging into hoarding disorder. These other 3, trichotillomania, extrication, and kleptomania, these are all related to compulsions that reduce anxiety. So trichotillomania is pulling hair, extrication is skin picking, and kleptomania is stealing. So these are behaviors that individuals do in order to reduce the anxiety that they have. So this is that's why they're all related in the same category. We call them obsessive-related disorders. And again, that key component, that flagship disorder, if you will, is OCD.